Greetings to you all. So you're hearing the new in-house band for the VAP session. And this is the VAP launch, which is the Virtual Acoustic Poetry Launch, featuring poetry for Grenfell today.
Onk vibration, this a onk vibration. It's a foundation, then consciousness can experience divinity in creative essence. Listen to drum beat calling you home, resonating in your signaling an urgent call. Farmers and warriors, one and all. Guided spirits send message to your ears. We've learned our lesson, the future is clear. Upload past life into your present. This is what we call a Sankofa moment. Love will comfort some and will crush others. But we can't let them destroy our cultures. Blessings to you for joining this spiritual train. Because enough seeds have been scattered, much peace gained. Word, sound, and power is our revolution. We are God's essence in this galactic vibration. On vibration. Blessings to the father, child, and woman. A village built is a foundation. Blessings and gratitude to all who have come. God, essence, woman, father, daughter, son. A village built is a foundation. We are the onk vibration, onk vibration. Africa's calling our people home. Our mother cries because our children still roam. Our father dies because the strangers in our home. We will fight till equality is shown. We will fight till equality is shown. We will fight till equality is shown. Okay.
Very nice.
Hi,
Very nice.
I'm Chloe C. As Empress mentioned, I'm going to be hosting the children's section of the Virtual Acoustic Poetry VAP session. So the first poet is going to be me with my poem, A Single Heart. A single heart bears much love, a love with wings of grace, a love that brings comfort to every time and place. With love comes a bond between you and me, between fragile water droplets forming an ocean community. With a bond like that comes strength, strength with wings that make us soar, soar into a place so pure that we can live forevermore. And with an elegant flight, we as humans reach our best, and our love, our bond, our trust can live in serene rest.
Thank you, Chloe.
Thank you.
I'm going to read an acrostic poem called Grenfell Tower, and I wrote it when I was like 6 or 7, I'm not sure. So, G, for God loves you, people of Grenfell Tower. Remembered you already, will never forget. Endless tears will flow till the end of our lives. Never will we see you again, dear sisters and brothers. Forever will God love you and remember you. Even though you still aren't with us, we still love you. Love, kindness, faithfulness, and gentleness will always be at your side. Life was ruined for those at Grenfell Tower. Today, what has just happened will never be wanted to be seen again. Oh, dear sisters, Grenfell Tower, how dangerous it was. When will we ever experience how much sadness you were in? Never will we forget you, remembered forever in our hearts and our minds.
Ooh. Please, God, don't let the people remember how they died in the fire. I got faith in you. You created life and you created death. I thank you every day from my first to last breath. Uncle Vedja sang Ashe.
Ashe.
Yeah, Ashe.
Ashe.
Well,
Hey.
thank you.
In the dark of night, there will be light. Everything is bright, even at the dark of night. At day, it is always bright, but in the dark of night, the dark spreads itself, watching everyone. But even at the dark of night, the light still appears. In the dark of night, there will be light forever. Dark with night, light, light.
Yay! Woo! Thank you.
Hey, Grenfell Tower, Grenfell Tower, I love you, I miss you much. I don't like the way you burnt down, but I can get there to make you all pretty and make you good like you would and thank you. So I can get you much cleaner as you would. I like the way you were painted before I saw the fire on the newspaper when I was going to nursery. People got burnt down and now they are in heaven. Some people got on the stairs and then got on the pavement. Then they had no help and they went to a big picnic outside and I went there too. And we had pizza on the Westway floor and we had food and fruits with the girls and so that were their names, Lala and Gaga.
Done. Oh, that's so cute. Thank you so much. Thank you, darling. That was an unexpected one. Thank you so much.
I think you know that I don't even know you, but this is the only chance I can show you how I feel about this tragedy, thinking about what the tower used to be. But let's not look at the past now. We'll just figure out how to come back even stronger, because now your lives are longer. And the Amber Alert, I know you're hurt, but we can find them with work. The panic and doubt won't last forever, because we're strong as one. Stronger
together.
Thank you.
Freedom for the mind and soul, freedom for the young and old. Freedom's not just a word of a story once told, no. It has existed before in gold, so it must live on and be retold. Habisha, Nubia, Kemet, Kush, in the spirit of freedom I chant my poem. What does it mean to be free? Free! No restrictions, no limitations. The blessed opportunity to be free. Free! Free to live without hesitations. Free to breathe, free to drink. Free to eat, free to think. Unpolluted and undiluted. Uninjected, uncloned, uninfected. Good health equals free and pure life force. Free. Free to decide for oneself and one's people. To be free is to live. To be free to take from nature as long as one remembers to give. With respect. As I was saying, while this technology is challenging my connection, to be selfless and not selfish. Free to grow and produce one's own crops, not slave around to produce what they strategically wrong. That's what they call cash crops. What's nature got to do with money? Ain't it funny the way the beast guys come are used to me? They're just a dum-dum. Profit from Satan's blood, heavy money, yamming blood, honey, playing crash dummies with our lives. Most high spirits see try free. It's painful to see. I can't deny this unwanted feels that I feel when I see, hear, smell, and feel injustice around of me. It saddens and infuriates me, angers yet motivates the humanitarian in me, allowing me to organize, protest, and campaign, unite with like-minded, good-hearted souls, trying to voice the truth of injustice. A perfectly planned in-house crime, blamed on a mere electrical accident after a fortune spent on refurbishment in order to prevent such a tragic incident. And for years upon years, the residents have complained, raised the high red risk flag, outlined all the dangers and hazards that were suppressed and ignored. Only to face the horrendous disaster from 1st to 24th floor. I won't go into further detail. The repercussions have been intense enough. Yet, thanks to our community's efforts that have refilled each and every one of us with so much love. Striving to persist, strive on, never giving up hope or faith. That's what holds us up strong. Opening our hearts to accept the outpouring love from our community. Coming together with soul deep unity. Appreciating the efforts and long distant measures of compassion. After all the evil that has been inflicted upon our people, focusing on the youth and their message, our future lays in their hands. New generation, they be the blessing. Our future lays in your hands. New generation, you be the blessing. Our future lays in your hands. The new generation, you be the blessing. You be the blessing. You be the blessing. Freedom for the mind and soul, freedom for the young and old. Freedom's not just a word of a story once told, no. It has existed before in gold, and so it must live on and be retold. Habisha, Nubia, Kemet, Kush, in the spirit of freedom I close this poem.
There's a circle of shrines around Grenfell, a moat of water and light, catching spirits, directing their energies. I see angel wings at the shrines. Come to collect the souls who at first didn't realize they needed to go. I feel the breeze of the wings as they embrace all who need comfort in this Grenfell disaster. I sense the impossible task of clearing away so life can live on day to day. I hear the everlasting stories of humankind, spirits divine, as they rise in glory. Political reputations plummet. I circle the shrines, packing donation boxes from baby clothes to bread, grieving strangers and survivors mourning the missing dead, congregating in community, healing artistic spaces created, so much heartical energy, turning away donations and media attention, sick and tired of their storytelling, I circle the shrines, calling ancestors to come. Liberate your relations, please, so out of this calamity comes harmony. Ancestral spirits of the families, come, claim these children, so all who suffer find a little ease, and those snatched away find peace. I ask the Most High to forgive transgressions of those who cross the veil of no return. Let their karma be balanced so they can assist us. Their spirit lives on. Let's make sense of this tragedy and heal ourselves, our families. It's so sad it takes a tragedy to wake us from our slumber, where people from all walks of life and culture hold on to this. Let's look at Grenfell or any other disaster. All the names of those lost will never be in vain. Cannot forget you. The world will never be the same without you. Angels' wings reside at the shrines, comforting the soul. So many have flown. We in unity pour water on this corporate fire. So shed your tears. Let's pour water on the grounds. Libation, let our words sound release. Let justice, compassion, and truth abounds. I invite you to continue to circle the shrines with your spirit, heart, and mind. Let's continue to pour water, quench the disaster. There's a circle of shrines around Grenfell. Tell me, what is your plan, Western civilized kinder man? You see, I continue to circle the shrines, singing songs of redemption, songs of emancipation. And I say Ashe, Ashe, Ashe. And I hold those songs of emancipation, you know, in light of the children, in light of the young ones that are coming in, how brave they are, how courageous they are. They've come forward, they've wrote their pieces, and it's 3 days, you know, 3 years on. So you young ones, I want you to acknowledge your growth. I want you to acknowledge your courage. I want you to acknowledge the love that you have inside of you, and know that together in Village, we will all make a difference, but we are here for you. So we circle you, we hold you. Thank you.
Ashe.
I have a new companion that sits lightly on my shoulder, not always in attendance, but always in mind. Grief and I have come to a new understanding. I have come to accept its presence, its prescience. I will never forget. I don't want to. I always remember. I choose to cherish all of you, especially one, especially. I won't dwell on regret. I don't need to. I know that I will have moments when I will be overcome with the feelings, and thus I will not be taken, no longer will be taken by surprise. In return, grief has promised me not to ambush, not to put me sideways just when I'm on my feet, or when I see a family complete and enjoying otherwise innocuous pleasures, strolling together. Not to trigger uncontrollable sadness at the slightest thing or at the crossroads, and to welcome my mission, which must be sacred as I am still here and I push. Sometimes I think I am the more honorable partner. I have kept my side of the bargain.
Thank you very much, Debbie.
Grenfell Tower is empty. I woke up extra early that morning. The phone's alarmed. that Grenfell was ablaze. We looked out of the children's bedroom window at 2 towers in our skyline. We saw a moving image that looked like one twin tower, with no aeroplanes and no helicopters. Every single window was smothered in smoke. It was more than smoke. It was thoroughly full of pumping, pallid poison, pumping in gunmetal or battleship grey, betraying the brutalist design of the 1967 era, betraying the dead and the destitute, not stopping to overlook, not stopping to underrepresent, at once screaming that hundreds had departed, whilst also burning more, over 24 floors for 24 more hours, both finished and far from finished. No, I said. The building has recently been refurbished. Everybody moved out. They haven't moved back in yet. Grenfell is empty.
Thank you.
Thank you, Christina.
Grenfell Tower brought forth a terror-toxic yield. How could we have ever known its prophecy fulfilled? How could we have ever known when Chelsea snobs bemoaned its tepid tone in apt flats needing to be clad, not in robes of foamy foam fitting refurbished ads? Danger warned and ignored while overseers rubbed hands. Grenfell's beauty lived inside of fabrics stronger than pride, of flesh not fireproof, and so they burned alive. Thank you. For those who were sacrificed and to those survivors living with the trauma, may they find peace and just have the knowledge that all that was in the dark will come to light. And as we come together in unity in 2020 in these extraordinary times, we find strength in the global community, and we all say injustice will not be tolerated. Thanks for having me.
Ashe, Ashe.
Justice for Grenfell. So many lives that never needed to end, trapped in a firebox, no way to defend. From the fury of flames spreading rapidly, imagine how frightening this must be. They built ghettos in the sky to hide us away, boxed in on top of each other without a say. Placed those who have children on the highest floors, no gardens to play, so they're stuck indoors. Treated like inferior people, never seeing us as relevant or equal. Disregarded then and disregarded now, like it's okay to beat us anyhow. Wrap the tower up in a flammable cloak, ignited in the night so the flames and smoke took lives, belongings and dreams for the future. What once was their home became their refuser. The residents warned of the dangers for years. While those in charge didn't just ignore their fears, but threatened young women with legal action, claiming their cries were an overreaction. Now, they to survive baby safety, but no way to escape. She couldn't get free. A whole life ahead for that tiny baby. Taken away because her life didn't matter to those who ought to have cared and known better. Mothers, fathers, grandparents, babies died. Children and entire families tried to escape from the flames before it was too late, before they were assigned to a horrific fate. Many saved their families and neighbors. Some before that night may have been total strangers. Firefighters couldn't stop the fire because of the cladding spread higher. Some people were trapped for several hours, calling from windows across to other towers, even throwing their children to people below, desperate to save their loved ones from the fire's glow. After, the humanity of communities in stark contrast to that of the authorities, while survivors find themselves homeless and displaced, lack of action by government, complete disgrace, failing to organise support on the ground, with devastation happening all around, people traumatised and searching for loved ones, hoping help would come from someone, anyone. On the ground, a floor of floral tributes grows, and on every surface the faces of those who died or are declared missing are smiling. At the memorial wall we stand crying. Keeping songs of faces, we hold each other tightly in warm embraces, while looming over us the burned out shell, once full of the lives of those who dwell. Now, a vertical, ugly coffin in the sky, where forensic tests must identify too many who were unable to get away, and below, a sense of disbelief and despair. The cry for answers and justice rings in the air, and for those who have lost it too much to bear. The pain and the anguish fills each day and night, displaced, grieving, yet finding the strength to fight. Whilst the authorities take donations away, the community is there every day to bring those who survive love and support, that basic needs ought not need to be fought. Nobody who's been through what they have been through will have to navigate, search, ask for, or queue, or have to live, even temporarily, in a crowded box room unnecessarily. Be orphaned, alone, grieving and homeless, whilst those who are negligent seem to not care less. Ahead, years fighting for justice for everyone. What happened to them can never be undone. If it were not for the community, there's no knowing where they would be. And meanwhile, a long battle for justice ensues. There's no justification and no excuse. What happened to residents of Grenfell Tower is the responsibility of those in power. None of us should rest until we see justice is served and those responsible get what they deserve. Some tried to say that we shouldn't politicize, but if they stopped a moment to analyze, they'd see that everything about it is. If you're in any doubt, please consider this. 7 years with the effects of austerity, more and more cuts without accountability, add to that outsourcing and privatization, deepening injustice and discrimination. Security, safety, and peace of mind shouldn't be things we have to seek and find. Working class people's lives are not lessons to be learned. We must never forget the night that Grenfell burned. Thank you.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you, Zita.
Thank you. That was deep.
Displaced authority and control of this system, corrupting and confusing, it's difficult to resist them. If you're doing or still outside living, count yourself blessed. If you're not, you're caught up in the matrix of feeling emptiness. Powerful complications make things seem just, but they're not. They're just all wrong. Twisted problems are just all wrong. People, innocent lives being taken are just all wrong. Just wrong. Just wrong. For the wealthy to overpower for long, it's just all wrong. Unjust laws and unjustified killing, unjust actions for unjustified winning, unjust laws and unjustified killing, unjust actions, just actions, actions, actions. Unjust laws and unjustified killing, unjust actions for unjustified winning, unjust laws and unjustified killing, unjust actions, actions, actions. Where are your actions? Minority reports hidden from the public eye. Equality now forbidden. As long as the powerful few with control and authority are running things, the beast is let loose to accumulate innocent lives put under unconscious abuse. Those of you now chosen to lead charge of our own destiny and those of the weak, doing what we do best with no doubts or regrets and no trust. Till we put you under test. Unjust laws and unjustified killing, unjust actions for unjustified winning, unjust laws and unjustified killing, unjust actions, actions, actions. Where are your actions, actions, actions? Unjust laws and unjustified killing, unjust actions for unjustified winning, unjust laws and unjustified killing, actions, actions, actions. Where are your actions? Actions. And just roar, and just for what is this for? But taking the beast and using his flaws, and you hunger for more. Corrupt law, systematic underscores, an underachiever of divine law. What you don't know the difference, can't acknowledge your iniquities, then come tell me about responsibility. Unjust laws and unjustified killing, unjust actions for unjustified winning, unjust laws and unjustified killings, unjust actions, actions, actions. Where are your actions, actions, actions? Where are your actions, actions, actions? Injustice is right, running down our lives. Justice can't fail. Injustice is right, running down our lives. How many deaths of police custody? Officially since 1954 of David Olawale. May your soul rest in divine peace. Roger Sylvester, may your soul rest in divine peace. Sean Rigg, may your soul rest in divine peace. Christopher Alder, may your soul rest in divine peace. Brian Douglas, may your soul rest in divine peace. Joy Gardner, may your soul rest in divine peace. Ricky Bishop, may your soul rest in divine peace. Mikey Powell, may your soul rest in divine peace. David Smiley Coach Emmanuel, may your soul rest in divine peace. Mark Duggan, may your soul rest in divine peace. Nunu Kartusu, may your soul rest in divine peace. Brianna Taylor, may your soul rest in divine peace. Rashan Charles, may your soul rest in divine peace. Eric Garner, may your soul rest in divine peace. George Floyd, may your soul rest in divine peace. And the list is endless. And with the gentrification all around the world that hit Grenfell. Amma Hisham Rahman, may your soul rest in divine peace. Isaac Paulos, may your soul rest in divine peace. Victoria King, may your soul rest in divine peace. Gary Maunders, may your soul rest in divine peace. Khadija Say and Mary Mendy, may your souls rest in divine peace. Rania Ibrahim, may your soul rest in divine peace. Jessica Lozano Ramirez, may your soul rest in divine peace. Marjorie and Ernie Vital, may your soul rest in divine peace. Abdul Aziz, Fawzia, Yassine, Noor, and Mehdi Al Wahabi, may your soul rest in divine peace. Bertie and Baruch Haftel, may your soul rest in divine peace. Jayla, may your soul rest in divine peace. Amal, may your soul rest in divine peace. All your families, all of your families, each and every one of you, each and every soul, may it rest in divine peace. May all the families be comforted. Unjust laws and unjustified killings, unjust actions for unjustified winnings, unjust laws and unjustified killings, unjust action, unjust laws and unjustified killings, unjust actions for unjustified winnings, unjust laws and unjustified killings, unjust action. Where is your action? Giving thanks, unconscious compassion.
Thank you, Ross.
So we did call upon not all but some of those that have unjustly died, whether it's in police custody or whether it's at Grenfell Tower. So we will never forget them.
You chose not to see the Lancaster West Estate Island community of multiple voices and 100 tongues, searching for hope in new presidential Labour leader. As you waged war on some of their motherlands, these British people worried about their own, far away. And here too, as you fantasise, democratise over there, but chose not to see that your land of hope and glory was fighting the same wars in Brenda's land. And in full view of you too, indifferent Brexit Conservative PM, you chose not to see standing at your royal KNC doorstep human beings not living in your £1 million plus home with your government of landlords fighting for yourselves. You chose not to see the others, migrants, refugees and British born, working class, middle class, British Moroccan, Somali, Eritrean, Sudanese, English, Italian, Iranian, Syrian, Chinese, Trinidadian, Bangladeshi, Ghanaian, Algerian, Filipino, Portuguese, Spanish, Irish, and many more too, following their dreams for their own future hope. In Grenfell Tower, to your eyes, a multicultural zoo, neglected, ignored, abandoned and lied to. You chose not to see, you council leader, breaching all trust, boasting of your £274 million reserves, but shh, hidden interests, wine dined at property developers, black tie inductions who hunted brutally as concrete gold like a cruel blood sport, with the chilling calls of hunting horde. Shame about the tenants you chose not to see, the Grenfell Action Group seeing sense and reason of an anticipated precognition of disaster without legal aid due to monster austerity cuts, cutting away all equality, so they screamed out to you, private KCTNO, that's Casey for Kensington and Chelsea, that's TM for tenancy management, that's O for organisation by fat cats living in a parallel world. You chose not to see, you floppy mayor, with your abusive get-stuffed inflammable cladding under your watch banned in the USA and Germany, but okay in the UK. You chose not to see fire, rip to rest in peace, Melbourne, Docklands, 2014. Blame lessons not learned. There is safety where power's aesthetic desires control your responsibility, your duty of care. You chose not to see the people in suffering, your failings, your callousness, your indifference gracefully for them of poverty isolation, and you demand they move from the shop to the jaw. of diamond-clustered gentrification in the richest borough in an international city in the world's fifth economy, who chose not to see housing monster under a new PM, lacunal lives. Why would you care? Because they were not you. Who chose not to see now as chief of staff the cold echoes of children's helpless, help me, standing at windows ordered to stay trapped in homes by the council official signs and the police, who chose not to see that you all were having a laugh at the expense of lives, beyond the burning rage, crying out to those below you. You don't want to, or is it you just don't care? When London came together, no difference, united as one. Spirits, you chose not to see when you ordered a government-led inquiry, no independent inquest, denying the others a public voice as the country grieves for our own humanity, for our collective indifference. You chose not to see what the UK can no longer ignore. Yesterday could never be again today, nor a broken tomorrow in our land, our home, where the poor have lost all hope and a black tower stands in defiance, an artistic reminder of a criminal act. You chose not to see the anger, the tears, the pain, crying, hark, Britain, rise up. Take those damning images stuck in your heads as a symbol of disempowered Britons in an unequal, broken 1+3 of fourth world society that's self-congratulatory for the world to gasp, London, Britain, a conspiracy of austerity, profiteering, democratic, unaccountability, avarice, corruption, intimidation, coercion of the most vulnerable and marginalized. Oh no, that only happens in third world countries, you say. The voiceless, that Grenfell Tower, so says word on the street, you will not see. I wonder who made the big money. Your neoliberalism experiment is discredited. You chose not to see the charcoal dead, huddled together for strength, whole families, whole floors, seeing the full horror of their fate, making final phone calls, love over anger and hate, whilst waiting to die, asking, how could this happen? Why didn't anyone come while suffocate in smoke? Why the 1600-degree flames? I hope many stayed asleep. I hope they find Jannah and heaven. Close your eyes, sleep, goodbye, rest in peace. We are here to fight for you. Now you, yes you who, like all the others still, after all that has happened, after all that has been done, chooses not to see. A photographer who can't see, a poet who can't feel, artists in modern indifferent Britain that even the omnipresent flames of Grenfell Tower couldn't heal. Don't take a selfie in front of a standing tower, a resting place of lost souls you choose not to hear. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ash.
Shortly after the call to prayer, families gathered, food to share. In Grenfell Tower, some broke their fast while artists dreamt and children laughed. Lovers gazed into the dark and softly, gently, some did sleep, tenderly in a tinderbox. It only took a spark to flame and burned so fast it took their lives. The tower etched on darkened skies. By luck or chance did some survive. The tenants' fears were realized, and who did listen to their cries? Why did their warnings get denied? They were labeled troublemakers, dismissed as irritating time takers. It's not enough to apologize. We must dismantle economic lies. Deregulation encourages cheaper choices, no place for those vexing, warning voices. Now grief lays across the city, uniting those whose hearts not closed will do much more than weep. Now is the time to reach out and share. Let strangers know how much we care. We all stand changed by that sad night. Dark shadows now come into sight. They have been sacrificed on the tentacles of greed. Nobler philosophies we no longer heed. Instead, insist that others must have pain so the richest rich can have their gain. For God forbid that they should share the cost for a planet plundered and lives we've lost. The new belief, in stark relief, says wealth alone is our salvation. By prosperity we justify our station. Above and beyond the religions of compassion, earning more and loving less is the fashion, and how we act, false denial of the fact that we are one. The greatest gift is that by loving, we can lift the grief and share the burden of the cheaper choices that were made, so little profit could be taken. But what is profit when we've lost such precious lives across all ages, from every culture on our shores? And now we need each other more. Build our common humanity anew by the many, not for the few. And as we mourn and grieve and grieve and mourn, a fairer future must be born that binds us close in love and peace. And may the departed never cease to shine their light within our lives and help us to see beyond the dark desire of using our riches to make our mark. Let rich and poor know that let poor and rich know that they are equal on the scales of life. No longer can we sacrifice people that we never knew, so those more wealthy like the view. Because their values have a price they would not pay with their own lives. As global citizens, we must embrace the truth that everyone should have a place to safely sleep, to dream and pray, to wake again and greet each day, equal in the right to live, equal in the right to live.
Thank you so much, Susie. Thank you for sharing.
This week, they put George Floyd's body to rest. Yet, his death was not in vain. By his dying last words, "I can't breathe," the whole humanity shared his pain, has sparked a light, igniting the global social racial justice fight. This week, at the Grenfell 3rd anniversary, we also remember our 72 loved ones. Forever in our hearts, always in our minds. For them, we also seek justice. We demand justice. Their deaths shouldn't be in vain. They suffered years of social, racial discrimination and abuse. Today, that can no longer be tolerated. Today, there can be no excuse. The stories of the voiceless and unheard, so vivid and so raw, told in the first person, so authentic and true, always dismissed, mostly sidelined, as of no value. At last, they started to recognize, to listen, that there is a new paradigm shifting, a new opportunity for a history of equality to be created. The centuries of war, deprivation, and misery, promoting white class and privilege, applauding narcissistic leadership, has led to the inequality and disparity, high level of poverty through austerity, has led to COVID-19 being disproportionate fatality. We clap for the NHS heroes, resilience facing adversity. Raise up, my friends, long live the Black community. Young men and women play your role in history. We are all connected and we care. Racist and xenophobe will not dare. Black lives matter. We all love one another. To you I say, we are all brothers in faith, F-A-T-E. To you I say, we are all equal in humanity, I-T. No death in vain. We all breathe again. Our peace, joy, and freedom we share with the new understanding and new awareness. No more segregation and separation. We say loudly, no, no to all forms of discrimination. New dawn has come to our togetherness and emancipation. On the 14th of June this year, we are starting a glorious chapter. Together for Grenfell, together for humanity. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Lord, thank you, Rosie. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
That was very.
How can I tell you? How can I tell you to wipe your tears when I haven't wiped mine? It is not the failings that draw tears from my eyes, for fallibility is a human condition and characteristics. It is not the failure to listen that keeps the tears flowing, for obstinacy is a human condition and the characteristics of diversity. It is not anger that I feel, for my well of deep is flowing out reflections. The depth of depths no shallow can reveal. Everything was so perfectly aligned and allied for the most devastating catastrophe. The weather, the time, midnight, and other factors, like a natural disaster that was unnatural, like a forest fire that was in a city, like a shipwreck happening in a block. When it is death, sometimes questions appear. Why like this? Died too young. Oh, why now? Who has the answers? No one knows the answers. No answers, no. Except that tears keep flowing. At first I cried for the dead, their dreams and hopes and aspirations. Then I cried for the living, for the tears shed for the dead. In every tragedy, it is ourselves we cry for, even when we cry for the dead and for the living. The dead do not need our tears. It is us who need healing. It is us who need our tears. The healing water which empties into the ocean of grief to resurrect and to water, to moisten and to make fertile the heaving soil, to germinate seeds of hopes, dreams and aspirations which the dead have become. The manure which sprout spring when the first rains fall. The dead do not know they are dead. This is a consolation. Like that deep sleep which, when consciousness is lost, and all become nothing until consciousness returns. It is the living who know they are dead and cry for themselves and feel for the dead what the dead does not feel. The dead are sleeping seeds. They are spreading scents. They are evaporating into you and I and the space around. The dead have become air we breathe. The words we disperse. They have expanded into the expanse nothingness. They have become the seeds which will germinate when the first rain falls. Is this a consolation?
I wish we could hear all of it. Thank you so much, Harriet. It's so touching.
Grenfell Tower's a tragedy, waiting for the world to see, and the warnings have been made for many years. People died in fearful flames, and we don't know all their names, but the whole community is now in tears.
الحكاية في الدنيا دي ما فيش حد بيضحي وكان شي الغلابة بيتعذبوا مش لاقيين اللي بيخافوا ربنا ومؤمنين غيرهم بيبعزقوا فلوس شمال ويمين مش امامهم حد مبسوطين ومرتاحين زي ما انتم شايفين اهم عايشين يا ناس يغازوا المفتريين حكم قتل ظلم عنصرية خلاص بتتفاهم بس هيبوكريسية انت هو انا ولا هي يهودي مسيحي مسلم مش هي دي القضية حكم قتل ظلم عنصرية خلاص مش تتفاهم بس هيبوكريسية انت هو انا ولا هي
Mother, pray for baby, pray for all, while all are in our tears. We never will forget you.
We forget you.
Our lives. We love you and respect
you.
Our memory survives. We pray that peace has found you.
Pray that peace has found you.
Our rest. Our love is all around you. Forever you'll be blessed. Overlooked, not listened to. People just like me and you had complained that safety standards were not met.
No.
The south, the east, we are mourning those deceased, but our sorrows mixed with anger and regret.
I know it hurts, but you must stay strong. The Most High will always carry you when you feel you can't go on. Stay faithful and trust that a better day soon come. If it's your time, it is. If not, then please gratefully live on through. Faith in your heart, inner silence and purposeful prayers. Focus on the good efforts of the people, fire on them political players. Unjust laws and unjustified killings, unjust actions for unjustified winning.
Pray for loved ones. Pray for strangers. Pray for all, while all our eyes are wet. We never will forget you.
Forget you.
Our lives. love you and respect you. Your memory survives. Pray that peace has found you.
Pray that peace has found you.
Our friends, our love is all around you. Forever you'll be blessed. Forever you'll be blessed. Forever you'll be blessed.
Oh, lovely, lovely, lovely.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Alexander. Thank you to you all. Just like our little Chloe said, we are strong as one, stronger together. And that is true. Can we unmute everyone, Rhonda? Unmute everyone. I'd like us all to say, strong as one, stronger together. Let me hear you. 3, 2, 1. We are strong as one.
Strong as
Stronger together.
Good together.
Right, we certainly are.
Hi,
Thank you so much, everyone. If anyone has any questions, feel free to ask or drop it in the chat. We've shared with you our links. Wednesday, art workshop with Junior Tomlin. Following Saturday with Zita, we've got as a special guest to Holborn. So we've had people tuning in from Egypt. We've had people tuning in from Bristol, from Italy, from Holland. You know, from where else do we have? Oms from Gambia, lovely. Who else? We've had, we've said Italy, we've said France, we've said Holland, we've said Spain, we've said Bristol, London, Leeds. Can't wait to see where you've all tuned in from. So yeah, there we go, VAP, Virtual Acoustic Poetry. So to keep on joining in with us, tuning in with us, and thank you so much. I'm Empress One Egypt, Princess Emmanuel, AKA, and may all those souls that have passed away rest in divine peace.
Bye. Best of luck.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Giving thanks. Peace.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye.
سوف لا ننساكم.
Nunca se olvidará.
Vamos souvenir toujours.
Nunca vamos esquecer.
مش هننساكم أبدا.
You will never